and welcome to the Mobility Strength Fusion class. In this class, we're going to be focused on opening up our body through mobility, and then we're going to be focused on strengthening our core with some core strengthening exercises. Basically, this class is very similar to Pilates, although it cannot be called Pilates because I am not a certified Pilates instructor, but I am a corrective exercise specialist, and I know how important mobility is, as well as strengthening the individual parts of our core so that it can work together in a unit and have a strong overall for all of the recreational activities that we like to do. What I've found in my trials and errors is that many people have glute and core imbalances that cause them to get injured over time. And so what this class is really about is strengthening your core so that you don't get injured doing more intense exercise. This class is going to strengthen your core from the inside out. We're going to work through the core in a 360 matrix, making sure we hit all areas. So that is the abs, the glutes, the obliques, the hip flexors, and the erectors of our spine, as well as some of our limb muscles like our arms, our shoulders, and our legs and glutes. So all of those are going to be included in this class. I'm going to take you through a little sample so that you can understand exactly what we would be doing in each and every class. So it always starts with a mobility sequence. So the mobility sequence starts us off with body weight, and we come down into the mat. If a class goer wants, they can go onto the grass, but a mat will be needed for comfort and support. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a quick mobility sequence to get our bodies warmed up. So we'll start with our hands and knees in tabletop. You'll notice that there's some pulling from yoga practices, there's some pulling from Pilates, and then there's some body weight strength moves that we'll be going through. Curl your toes under, put your hands under your shoulders. Let's go into a tabletop position. So we're gonna stretch our lower back, tucking our chin, rounding forward. To inhale, exhale, open the belly. Inhale, look up, shoulders roll down our spines. Here we go. We're gonna rock through this 3 times. Breathing through each rep. Bringing those shoulders down as we arch the back and lift the tailbone, looking up. And rounding down, shoulders come forward. Stretching all through that lower back to come into our neutral spine tabletop position. Here we go. We're going to rock out a bird dog. So opposite foot to opposite hand. Extend, reach for the sky with your heel in hand, and then tuck in, bringing your knee to the elbow. Let's rock this out 5 times on each side. Here we go. Inhaling as we extend. Exhaling as we pull in. If you hear any cracks, pops, or lops, you are going to be thinking, is that normal? And I can rest assured you, it is totally normal. During mobility, our body is trying to stretch and get into the right length tension relationships for our muscles and joints. All right, let's switch sides. And so the mobility portion of this class is really important because without being properly mobilized, we could be strengthening the wrong areas of our core or of the limbs that we're going to be focused on today. And we're not worried about being absolutely perfect. There's no such thing as perfect movement, but we are going to be focused on form to our best of our abilities. All right, and I'll always give modifications and options for my class goers. So there's always an ability to scale up or scale down for each and every person who comes into the class. Okay, so we're going to start our strength moves here as we go into a tall plank position. option here, if you have wrist pain, you can always come down to your forearms. We're gonna start in a tall plank where your hands are a little wider than shoulder width, and you have your feet back straightened together, heels together, toes pushing forward, core drawn in, pressing the floor away. Here we go. We're holding our plank strong here, squeezing our legs together, creating stability through the core. You're doing so good right now, you guys. And we're gonna bring one knee up. We're gonna start activating that core, bringing our knee in towards the elbow, extend it back, and put it down. Very similar to our bird dog, only this time we're holding our plank. Keep that toe dorsiflexed, which is pulled towards the shin. We're feeling a lot of heat through our core here. Trying to stay strong and stable as we rock through this. We're almost there. 2 more on each side. And we're getting the front portion of our core here, front portion of our body, as well as some back. And now we're gonna roll down to our front, do a little cobra, elbows to your side, toes pointed, tuck our chin, and lifting up and back down. All right, pulling our arms down by our sides at a 90-degree angle. It's so important for me during this class that you are not just strengthening your core, but that you're strengthening it in a way that's comfortable. So I don't want to exhaust one muscle group and have that form suffer. I want to be bouncing from different areas, and we're working the front. We worked the front in our last one. Now we're going to work our back in this next exercise and get our glutes and our rotator cuffs fired up. So the balancing of the length tension relationships is where the mobility and strength really fuse here. So you have some mobility exercises in between each strength exercise, and you're rolling through. So now we're going into a hyperextension. Arms are by your sides, elbows in a 90-degree angle with your palms down. We're gonna flex those toes, and we're gonna lift up through the heels, squeezing our butt. As we do, we're gonna raise our arms up and hold for a moment. Hold 3, 2, 1, exhale, come back down. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, come up. Inhale at the top as you hold, exhale, come down. Keep rocking through that. Here we go for 10. Many times I'll either do time or count reps for the class. I think both are beneficial depending on the exercise. So for this one, I like the reps because we're going 3, 2, 1, hold, where we could be going for 30 seconds here and trying to get our 10 reps in. And for each rep, it takes about 3 seconds to hold. Checking in with those glutes, making sure they're the first thing to activate as we lift off the floor, and checking in with those shoulders, maintaining tension, elbows drawing down. You are doing so great, and let's relax. All right, now we're gonna go off into our side bodies, and we're gonna have our elbow outstretched here and our hands on our hip. And now, again, we're working all through the core, all through the sides, and it's really important to me to make sure that we're not overly exhausting one side of the muscle. So what we're going to do is now work our side bodies. Our arm is going to come up here. Your hand can either be in front or by your side, whatever's most comfortable. And we're gonna reach up and overhead, and then we're gonna draw our elbow down, and we're gonna squeeze in through the oblique, squeeze those legs together while lifting up. And that's really gonna get our side body here. Elbow draw in for a small crunch, but keep your neck nice and long. All right, guys, here we go. We're lifting those legs up for 5. Extend, lift, 6, we're going to 10. For every class, we have a rep range that we are trying to hit and a time scheme. For this little sample class, I'm just doing a 10 rep range to show you that I can do the exercises properly and instruct them for a class. You're doing great. All right, last one here, guys. All right, and in order to properly show each and every exercise, I'm gonna turn this way to keep my eyes on the class. And here we go for our second side body move. Arm out in front. We'll use this band later. And legs together, arm up. Big stretch here. Ooh. Got a little raindrop on me. That's the fun of working out outside. I love working out in nature. All right, after you hit those 10 reps here, now we're gonna move on to adding some band work. So I'll have individual bands ready for purchase for the class, and if the class wants to bring their own bands, that's totally an option, or they can do it without any bands at all, that's fine. So what we're gonna do is put this band around our legs, and we're gonna come onto our backs to work the back side. Now from here, we're going to be in a glute bridge position, heels nice and close to our body, guys. Our knees pressed apart, our core flush to the mat, drawn in and down. Just feel how your spine is a nice straight and aligned, and then put your hands by your sides. You're gonna lift your legs up and through the top. We're gonna hold that glute bridge. We're gonna push our knees out, come to the sides of our feet, and then we're gonna come back in and out. In and out. Breathing in as our legs come in, out as our legs come out. Keep sinking that breath. It really helps us strengthen our core when we pay attention to our breath in each and every rep. I'll have my eyes on the class as they're doing their exercises and call out any form mistakes that I see, things like keeping your hips up. I'll also be going through some of the form things that I just know that people commonly mess up while they're doing exercise. And again, it's not about being perfect. It's about doing things with as good a form as possible. All right, and lowering down. We're gonna stay on our backs here and shift our band from our feet. Again, it's totally an option to not have a band. We're gonna have our knees pressed apart and core drawn in. And we're gonna be bringing one knee towards our chest and the opposite leg out, keeping that toe dorsiflex, shin nice and strong, and switching as we go through. This is all about strengthening our eccentric muscles of our hip flexors, so pressing away while also drawing in on the opposite leg. This is gonna get us stronger for walking and running and all types of exercises that require our legs. An option here for people who wanna make it more challenging, tucking your chin and bringing your head up towards the knee. Only do this one if you do not have any neck pain, and if you're not feeling the challenge from your legs or your head down while your legs are moving. Always an option to keep that head back down, chin tucked. 5 more, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. All right, moving that band back. Once we have the band on, we're definitely rocking through the exercises as much as possible to keep the flow going. So We're training different muscle groups, and that allows us to rest as little as possible. The core is training on its strength, but also its endurance. So being able to hold these different positions as we go through. So now we're doing our clamshell exercise. This one's pretty low key. We're gonna be focused on the glute medius. I can make this more challenging as we go through. We'll up that through each set. Now we're going to keep our feet together in line with our hips, knees closed with our band around our knees, and we're gonna raise our legs up, squeezing our butt, making sure we don't rotate outward, staying forward, guys. And here we go. Lift that knee, lower back down, lift that knee, lower back down. Woo! If you're feeling this, oh, got another raindrop on me. If you're feeling this, awesome. If you're not feeling it, you might need a more challenging band. The glute medius is one of those muscles that are going to need to be strengthened to stay injury-free. I'm really passionate about being injury-free, because so often people join classes because they think they're fun and they kind of just want to start them up and start exercising again, and then they get hurt because the exercise or the class is too intense. So this is kind of a beginners and a getting back to exercise class, and then it will progress as we go through, and it will start a new progression every single time, or every single month. We'll start a new progression starting at week 1, 2, 3, and 4, progressing the exercises, increasing reps, time, and sets. And the exercises will be familiar, but not always exactly the same. That will keep people interested, not bored, but it will also keep people actually progressing through their movements, so that they're not like, you know, just randomly getting a workout, showing up and not getting any results. I definitely want people to feel and get their results from their workout. And if they come to every single class during the summer, they're going to end up with 24 total workouts that will really be helpful for strengthening their core. And it's going to be a great primer for anyone who's active outside of their daily life. If you really like doing outdoor adventurous activities, paddle boarding, biking, walking. In the summer, these are things that we need strength and endurance, stamina, and stability for. So that's what this class is really going to help people with. All right, so moving on from our clamshell, of course I wouldn't completely be talking about the purpose of the class during the class, but I wanted you to see, you know, some of the reasonings behind some of the exercises that we're doing today. And now is the part where we would continue the exercises, but we would start again at the beginning. So each mini circuit has about 3 to 5 exercises, and we would be doing 1 to 2 mini circuits after a beginning circuit of mobility. Then we'd get into those 2 mini circuits of strength, and then we'd finish off with some stretching. At this point, we're going to be cooling things down. We would do more than one set during the class, but for today's purposes, just showing you an example of the class, this is what it is. And now, guys, we're going to be moving into our cool down. So the cool down is important. We were just working our muscles, and we're going to stretch some of our muscles out. So if you notice something was tight or was not really feeling it, this is your opportunity to tell me if anything was, you know, feeling not good during the class, and that you want to stretch and mobilize during the cool down. So let's say someone said, oh, you know, my glute is really hurting from all that glute work. I'm, you know, feeling sore in my glutes. Okay, awesome. Let's work on stretching those glutes out and making sure they feel good for the rest of the day. So we're gonna place one foot, we're gonna straighten it up, and we're gonna gently lay the heel down and open up the knee. Bringing the opposite leg up into this figure 4 position, you're gonna thread your hands through the thighs, pull behind, clasping your hands on the thigh and bringing it into your chest. Don't force anything here. We want to be nice and gentle on our bodies. And we'll take 3 deep breaths through this stretch. Holding each stretch for at least 15 seconds and up to 60 if we really need to hold and allow that muscle to release and let go. And we'll gently lay our foot down. Don't unclasp. We're going to do a small twist, bringing our legs to our sides. And then an option here is to bring the knee towards the floor, opening up the hand on the opposite side to stretch our twisting muscles. So we're getting all through the glute here and through the side, allowing those obliques and glutes to relax and stretch from its work today. Opening up the knee, pivoting from the elbow to switch legs. Switching legs here. You guys are doing so great. Thanks for sticking around for the cool down, because we do know it's not over. It's not over at the cool down, although sometimes it's not completely necessary to stretch, and that's why we'll only take 3 to 5 minutes to stretch out the body after our core strength training class. Just hitting a few key moves, and again, taking any requests from the class as to what they want to stretch. We'll lower that leg down, come over to the side, open up the chest, and pull down from the leg. Ooh, really feeling that, guys. Guys and ladies. Each class will start with an intention, and we'll let that intention be known at the beginning, but we'll always come back to our intention at the end. So at this point, we take a moment to breathe and just review our intention. So my intention for today is to show you what a strength and mobility class fusion would be like, for the East Grand Rapids Recreational Center. I am here for the summer, and I really want to be able to enjoy myself with the community. This is where my fiance grew up, and he's really passionate about the athletic community here and how active and just basically excited people are about this summer, and how people are really active. I've seen so many walkers and runners around here, and I love that, but I also think that my class is going to be perfect for those people who are walking and running, and who want to do that sustainably and without injury, because we know that the core is so important to maintain strength for those types of activities and to continue on with being functional in their lives through any age. So this class would be perfect for really any age. But I see mostly women between the ages of like 25 and 55 joining the class, and that could be really open to anybody who wants to join. I'm not exclusive at all. So the intention again was just to show you what a class would be like and to show you my teaching style. And let's just take a deep breath here to relax and integrate what we did today. So shoulders away from the ears, rounding back as we inhale, opening up the hands, the palms, bringing us back into the present moment. And as you go off about your day, thank you for joining me. Thank you for showing up for yourself. And for a strong, healthy, happy life. Namaste.